Hi everybody, good morning. Hope you're all having a great day today. I'm here with Evangelos, who is the CEO of Ocyan. Now, Ocyan was the startup that won our 100 Wolves pitching contest during the May edition. Hi Evangelos, how are you today?
Hey, Marcus, nice to be here. Thanks.
Great, and where are you dialing in from?
From Scotland, so much more north from most of the Europe here.
Wow, Scotland. So how did you end up over there?
For the good weather, definitely.
Yeah, I can see the sun shining behind
Yeah.
you. So which part of Scotland are you based in?
I normally operate in Edinburgh, but I live in just outside Glasgow, to be honest. And during this whole lockdown period, yeah, definitely, you will find me here.
Okay, super. And have you got the team there in Scotland with you, or are they distributed across Europe?
Half of the team, so most of the business team is actually here in the north. The other half is in London, but again, because of this whole lockdown, yeah, some people have gone back to their home countries just for this. Meanwhile, yeah.
Okay, great. So how have you obviously it was a matter of weeks, it was 3 weeks ago now since our last event. So, was it the first time that you'd attended one of our summits, or have you been to the in-person event previously?
So yeah, actually, we had been into one of the we had been in Warsaw actually in like 2008, I think it was. That we had a deck there and during the meetings and everything. But yeah, it was the first time that we were pitching.
Okay, great. So would you like to share a bit about, what Ocyan does with the audience?
Yeah, definitely. So our mission is pretty much to solve the financial exclusion of EU expats. Now, what this means is that definitely for EU nationals, it comes very close. Very natural to us to move from one country to another, either for job offers or because you like pretty much to go and retire into a very sunny seaside of Spain or Italy or even Greece, right? But it's still it's so much alienated to be part of the mainstream financial ecosystem, right? So what we are solving here is that we are moving your financial history, your financial data from your emigrated country directly to the destination country by connecting the local credit rating agencies with the local financial marketplaces, so you can be part of the mainstream economy on your destination country from day one.
Okay. And was was it through your own personal experiences that led you to create the business?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, we are a team of experts ourselves, and we have migrated more than once, and we have felt this pain more than once on a personal level, and because of our background, pretty much myself and everyone in the team, we have a very fintech and tech background. We're always saying, this is a solvable issue, like why no one is solving it, and then we drill down into the mechanics and the dynamics of how the solution can be done, and we found a model whereby this can be very much easily approachable and be solved. So yeah, definitely, it comes from a very personal pain.
Okay, great. And in terms of, so you mentioned that you'd been along to one of our events in 2018.
Yeah.
Was that were you at your pre-seed stage there? Was it with the goal of securing funding from the event?
Yeah, so Ocean had a lot of pre incubation periods. For example, as every startup, right? So we start with an idea and then we start evolving it. So yeah, it was like back in 2018 we were like. Definitely like on a genesis or pre-genesis stage, right? So definitely pre-seed, definitely very early stages. It was just me and my co-founder. Definitely now have grown a lot since then.
Okay, and I know you've taken a couple of awards from the Scottish Edge Awards, Scottish
Yeah.
FinTech, etc. So has that involved some grant funding or any monetary benefits?
Yeah, so those were finalists. So some awards were finalists, some were awards. So no, it wasn't monetary, money that received, rather than a very good PR and a very good recognition of what we were doing. Yeah. So that was the main aspect from this.
Okay, so more of a marketing and PR
Exactly.
campaign.
Yeah. So the thrill of the recognition.
And so at this point in time, are you more focused on securing customers, or are you actually looking to fundraise as well?
Well, yeah. So our philosophy, Ocyan, is that the investment will come if the market traction is if we move we prove the market traction. So 80% of my time is spent on business development and commercializing. So definitely the scope of our strategy now is to secure a financial bridge between UK, Spain, and Germany, with Holland and Romania, and then the whole Mediterranean arch to be next. To be honest, and honestly, this is literally what we're doing currently. So yeah, definitely more focus on the commercialization and securing the partnerships that currently we have already agreed with some leading fintech and insurance tech companies in this area. Prove the model, and yeah, if we manage to do that, I mean, it's a no-brainer that the funds, the investment funds, will follow on.
Yeah, exactly. And have you, since the event last month, have you followed up with any of the investor community that you met during the event, or any potential clients there?
Yeah, actually, there was I definitely wanted. Thanks for the question. It's one of the things that I would like to state. It was for a big surprise for us, because as you've seen, we have won some similar cases, but we never had so many follow-ups. So at least three institutions, they did send us an email like as a follow-on after this, and then we took the recognition, and we managed to approach some other VCs, and because of this recognition, they immediately reached back to us. So at least we have at least five generated leads immediately from that, and those are discussions that we are continuing currently.
Okay, no, that's really great to hear. And do you mind if I ask, are they Central and Eastern Europe based funds, or are they UK? Whereabouts in Europe are they?
Yeah, so most of them were Central Europe, which is mainly, although we are a UK based company, as you understand, this Central Europe and Central East Europe is where most of our growth will be happening over the next months and years. So yeah, most of them were Central Europe, and one of them was a global one, but has roots in Central Europe.
Okay, super. And you mentioned so you've got most of the business development team up in Scotland with you.
Yeah.
And then, so where are your technical team? Are they in the UK or elsewhere?
Yeah, they so most of them are in London. Although, as I said, some of them currently, because of the whole lockdown and because of all these peculiar times that that we are currently, they have moved back to their home country. So remote first working, obviously. But yeah, normally you'll find ourselves in London.
Okay, and so I know you mentioned backstage about the relevance with the COVID issue at the moment. So with huge amounts of people being repatriated to their home countries, how is Ocyan going to step in to assist those individuals?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, I'm gonna mention the big word, which is the Brexit word. That it's something that dominates here in the UK. So because of Brexit and because of COVID, a lot of people have have seen many changes in their lives, right? So we are seeing a lot of repatriated movement back to their home countries, and even those nationals that are going back to their home countries, they will face exactly the same struggles in proving, for example, to their home country that they have been high net worth individuals, or there are people that they might have debt or they might not have debt, and they would like to pretty much move this good credit scoring that have accumulated in their immigrant countries back to their home countries. And currently there is no way to do that, right? So for everyone that is being repatriated, it's like starting from from zero, and this is sad, right? So what we are helping here to do is that we're building those financial data bridges so that those people can move wherever they need to be in Europe, and they can easily be part of the mainstream economy based on everything that they have achieved on their previous country.
Okay, so you're going to essentially a distributed ledger across Europe for financial inclusion for expats, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So like one of the underlying technologies that we are using is blockchain. Although we don't want to be like one of those companies whereby we go blah 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 blockchain. We advertise and the problem that we're solving, the solution that we're providing. And yes, the underlying technology is built on the distributed ledger and blockchain based technology. This is how we make sure that that the individual has full control of their data, and both of the financial institutions exchange data in a very secure and auditable way. So we keep ourselves very much regulated and very much transparent through this technology. So yeah, it's on the core of the solution, but we don't advocate blockchain just for the sake of it. We are very much interested for the solution first.
And with your deep background around DLT and blockchain, from your perspective, do you think that institutions are taking up the multitude of benefits that DLT and blockchain offer?
Yeah, I mean, definitely not yet, right? So it's one of those technologies that it is still on, it has definitely matured from the last year, but it's definitely it hasn't replaced the mainframes, or it hasn't replaced the legacy infrastructure that is so much disconnected from the opportunity of making all these service providers more ubiquitous to the end users. Definitely, blockchain is part of the solution. It's not the answer, but it's part of the answer. This hasn't happened yet, and honestly, COVID has made things worse, because has made things worse and better for depending on your perspective. It has made things worse because some of the innovation that was happening, it has been stalled, but a lot of innovation that should be happening has actually been accelerated. So yeah, for the short term, we definitely see some stallment of DLT adoption, but this will definitely be accelerated from Q4 and onwards, because everyone will have seen that actually innovation is the answer to so many problems, and then they will start seeing that as they have started adopting Microsoft Teams or Zoom or Slack, etc. Actually, the collaboration is actually the answer to the future trade, and not the accumulation of all the services under a centralized database or under a centralized SAP or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a huge DLT and blockchain advocate myself, and I think that I'm convinced that the early stage, funding market will be one of the huge winners from blockchain-based funding rounds and security tokens, etc. I know there's a number of companies in the UK inside an FCA sandbox right now. So I think those types of funding rounds are going to become more prevalent in the coming years for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so how about any tips for, in just over 2 weeks' time, we've got our next edition of 100 Wolves pitching. Have you got any tips for for founders that are going to be taking part this month?
Yeah, actually, there were actually 2 startups that they did reach out to me after they saw the post from your LinkedIn saying if you have any tips. And honestly, the first thing that I asked them is, what is it that you do? And that's a thing that even we were aching a lot, which is when you're building a product, and you have a technical background, actually, you are pitching all of the features of your product. You're so much keen to showcase, look what I have built. But actually, when you are pitching, and especially to start a competition, you have to realize that you are pitching your business, right? So you are pitching the business rather than the features and the product, right? So you have to convince the people that if you're selling a car, you're selling a car because it helps people to go from A to B, right? You're not selling a car because it has a very nice air conditioner or leather seats, right? This comes much later in the discussion. So yeah, you have pretty much to learn how to pitch your business and not your product, because this is how you make money at the very end. And you build a startup to pretty much be make it profitable. No matter what's your solution. This is the whole entrepreneurship about, right? So you have to convince people that what you're making is something that makes money and it's sustainable. So do change your pitch around that.
Yeah, great tips. And I think it's it's a common problem that I see across pitch decks, and a lot of founders they fall in love with their product, and then as you highlighted, they fail to mention how they will make that product sustainable. Yeah,
exactly. Which is the whole oxygen of the business, right? Yeah, I mean, don't just say you build a car and it has 4 wheels. Say that you build a car and how you're gonna build the supply chain of this car, and how you're gonna distribute it to Germany, Poland, and how those people are gonna buy the car, and why they want to buy this car and not buy a Ford or something else. So convince people about that, not about the car itself.
I only buy Italian cars, so I wouldn't know.
A Fiat. So yeah, definitely. I mean, actually, yeah, and like learn your segmentation is another. That's a very good point. Like learn your segmentation, right? Like many people are going to the business and they saying, well, everyone is my client because I don't know, everyone would love a phone or something, right? It's what we call the toothbrush fallacy, whereby everyone washes the teeth. So everyone needs a toothbrush, right? So if I go to China with and selling toothbrush, I'll be a billionaire in the next day. Well, it's not like that. Yeah, so learn your segmentation, and this is like one of the key things when you pitch about your business, is that definitely maybe you're solving a big problem, but not everyone has this problem. So who you're solving the problem about, like, learn that, definitely.
No, great stuff. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Evangelos,
Definitely.
and for sure we'll be in touch. And yeah, best of luck.
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Okay. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.